Anyway, folks, welcome to our 9th session. And I'm going to be actually in Amsterdam tomorrow. So if any of you would like to see me in flesh, just talk to me. Or we can, I was hoping to do a class, but unfortunately, I couldn't get to you today. But I will be there till the 10th. So hopefully we can meet up over a cup of tea or coffee. What's favorite in Amsterdam? Coffee, yeah?
I think they are coffee people.
yeah. So and thank you for sending your homework. They're quite good, you know. So last time we were talking about actually khandas, the sutta. Actually, Pena Pindupama Sutta was the one we discussed. And today we will continue with the same theme pretty much, because it's a very key theme. I was in two minds to do two different sutras, but finally I settled with Kajjaniya Sutta. Yeah. So we will discuss. It's a really interesting sutta. All the sutras are interesting, but Kajjaniya, it's a nice continuation from last week. Yeah. Anyone has got anything? Let's do a short salutation. Now this time salutation is done with memory. Yeah. So one of you is going to you're going to chant something, not necessarily the ones we have been doing, but you can do anything, any chanting, and that would be acceptable. But you have to do it in your memory, not looking at the letters. Okay. Now, anything. Yeah. Who is going to? Anyone actually. All of us. We can do short salutation to the Buddha.
Without looking, it's a bit difficult.
Sorry?
Without looking, it's a bit difficult. Apart from the homage.
Yeah, I still lose some syllables inside when I even look at it.
That's okay. That's okay. Even if you just say Namo Tassa Bhagavato, that's absolutely fine. Anything that comes to your mind. Now I'll ask Venerable Bhante to recite something. Maybe Namo Namo Buddha Divakaraya, because you do it really well, yeah?
Namo Namo Buddha Divakaraya Namo Namo Gotana Chandimaya Namo Namo Nanta Gunang Navaya Namo Namo Sakya Nandanaya.
Wow, that's beautiful.
See,
whenever I want to kind of do a salutation, I just don't limit myself to any particular one. And I sort of, Namo Buddhaya, or Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa, or Buddhang Vande, something, something, whatever comes to my mind, I just, pay my homage. Yeah. So one of the things about the spiritual caregiving is you really don't know which one to chant, and you just simply tune to the moment and just chant something. Okay, so this is it's actually a part of Buddhist practice, something, and the monks are trained. Any spiritual caregiver is trained for that. So you simply, reflect on something, and then it could be itipiso, it could be anything at all. So what's a Pali word on the top of your head?
Kusala.
That's good. That's a really good one. Yeah, kusala. Kusala is a very key word. What's at the top of your head, Mikhail?
Lately, it's anatta.
Anatta. Wow. Again, that's a key word. Lola.
Anicca.
Anicca. Yes. Yes. See, you guys are really, I mean, you have kind of touched the key aspects of the Buddhist teaching. Keith, I know what is in Keith's head all the time.
Well, you tell me then.
Sampajanya. No?
No.
Okay.
Dukkha.
Ah, dukkha. Dukkha. Oh, that's a good one. Yeah. Dukkha. Yeah. So, yeah. Manoj.
For me, it's something sukha or karma, but I would like to rather tell like prapancha in terms of the class.
Oh, prapancha, yes.
Yeah.
Prapancha is a very key word as well.
But for me, it is karma or sukha.
Karma, sukha. Okay. Yeah, very good.
Right.
Excellent.
Thank you.
Ine, what is in your?
Well, I think compassion and anukampa.
Anukampa.
And compassion.
And you were asking about anukampa and metta. Metta and anukampa. Yeah. Those are like, metta is a general quality, then anukampa. Kampa is actually, it's like trembling, kampa. Kampati, the Pali word kampati is to tremble. Yeah, tremble, trembling, kampa, I mean, kampa, like, it's like trembling for the welfare of others. Yeah. So actually, having the others in very close to your heart. Yeah. So anukampa. Anu is, yeah, anu is like, it is anupari. Those are prefixes, which means, again and again, you're not actually leaving the person out. Anukampati, anukampa. Yeah.
So is it something like, could you say that anukampa is a kind of active form of karuna?
Yeah. Like, yeah, it is. It's actually very connected to both metta and karuna. Metta, karuna, mudita, upe. I mean, all four, I should say. Now, these Brahma Viharas, I mean, they are of different quality. Metta is the general love, loving kindness. And karuna is the targeted one. Now, you cannot have karuna without a target. Like say, when somebody is in trouble, difficulty, you have a target. You think of that person. So that is called karuna. So which is translated as compassion. And mudita is it is even higher one, which is joy in success of others. And upekha is the kind of end goal of it. It's a balance and really it encompasses, it embodies all four and more, upekha. And there is no higher word than upekha. Yeah. Okay. So now those are really, I mean, see, if you really tap into the key words of those, you can see the specific meaning. There are facets of meaning attached to them. So anukampa is one of them. Yeah. Okay. All right, folks. Let's get on with our reading. Okay, can you all see the page? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Now remember, last time we talked about this Pena Pindupama Sutta, where we talk about actually rupa extensively. And the Kajaniya Sutta is another, aspect of that, which is kind of defining the khandhas in a more crucial way. Now let's have a look at that. The Kajaniya Sutta is also one of the key suttas in the Samyutta Nikaya, 2279. Now it was actually delivered in the Savatthi. Savatthi is where the Buddha actually has, Buddha has given most of his teachings in Savatthi. Yeah. Is there anyone who would like to read? Just looking at the Pali words. I mean, so you will recognize some of the words anyway. So anyone would like to? Can you all see the page? Okay. Yeah.
I can try.
Okay. Yeah. Julia. Yeah.
Savatthinidanam yehi keti bhikkhave samanam va brahmana va anekavitihitang pubenivasang anusara mana anusaranti sabeta panchupadana khanda anusaranti et sang va anyatarang katame pancha.
Oh, okay, yeah. Now see these words. Now there are certain sandhis also. Savatthi Nidanam. Savatthi is the location. I mean, this is also like two words, Savatthi, and Nidanam is the setting. Setting is Savatthi. Yeah. And then the Buddha addresses, he says, Yehi kechi bhikkhave, yehi kechi bhikkhave, whosoever, ye, Yo, ye, yang, ye. Yo is not the same as English yo. It's a ye hikechi. Whosoever bhikkhave monks, samana. Wa is a particle, either samana or brahmana. Samanava, brahmanava. Aneka vihitang. Aneka vihitang. Aneka. Eka. What is eka?
One.
One. Yeah. Aneka. Yeah, exactly. Aneka is not one. That means many. Not one. The aneka means not one. Actually, many. Not one means many. Aneka vihitang. Many, Pubbe nivasam. Pubbe. Pubba means early, past. Pubbe nivasam. Nivasam, previous, abode. So nivasa is like a residence, abode, literally. But here the Pubbe nivasa means in the past. Anusaramana. If you were to remember, anusara. Again, this is another common word you might find, quite a bit. Anusaramana, anusaranti. So if somebody were to remember the past, many different things, if they were to remember many different things, they remember anusaranti sabbete. All of these are panchupadana khande. What's pancha upadana khanda?
Pancha is 5.
5. Pancha is 5. Upadana is like clinging. Khanda, upadana, khanda. And there's a doubling of the K here. Pancha upadana khande. Now this is actually a locative case. In, if one were to remember the past, all of that remembrance could be, boiled down or summarized into panchupadana khande. 5 clinging aggregates. Yeah. Anusaranti. Etesam va anyatharam. Or one of them, either all of them or one of them. Yeah. Out of them. Now this is kind of a partitive. This is anyatharam. One of them. Yeah. So what it means is, the general meaning is like if either a samana or brahmana were to remember the past, all that remembrance could be is in the realm of, in the area of 5 clinging aggregates or one of them. And then he says katame pancha. What's katame pancha?
Which 5 or something?
Yeah. Which 5? Yeah, exactly. So, and then there is a description of 5 clinging aggregates. Now remember, pancha khanda and pancha upadana khanda, these are actually 2 different words, right? One is called, pancha. Or pancha upadana. Khanda. Yeah. So either pancha khanda or pancha upadana khanda. What's the difference between the Panchakanda and Pancha Upadana Kanda?
There is no clinging there.
Yeah. One is obviously like attachment to it. Panchakanda is, there is no attachment. Yeah. So the Putujana, what's the meaning of Putujana?
Worldly, like person.
Yeah, exactly. Putujana. Putujana is the worldly person. So that means, ordinary person or common person. That means a person who has not heard the Dhamma. It's Putujana. Putu means average person, actually. Putu means average. Yeah?
Maybe they don't recognize that there are clinging to the 5 aggregates. Maybe they know they have 5 aggregates and then they just say Panchakanta, but I don't know.
No, it is the other way around, Julia. You see, it is the Putujana is always upadana, because they are always clinging. The one who is actually free from clinging is called, Arya Savaka, or, the opposite of Putujana is Arya Savaka, right?
And then
Arya
they
Savaka.
can say that they don't call them that they're aggregate clinging. They just say that they're aggregates. Or I just thought that first someone has to let go of them, and then
The only one who really understands the 5 aggregates will know the repercussions or the wrong view, because the 5 khandas, if you know really their nature, there is nothing to be attached to. Yeah. And the Arya Savaka or Sotapanna, or you could say Sutava, Sutava Arya Savaka, instructed Arya Savaka, that person has no clinging to it. So that person is actually literally free from upadan. Yeah? Upa-adan, literally it means, clinging towards you, or that means attached to it. Yeah, but it is actually much more deeper than that. Anyway, we will find that out. Okay. So Panchakanda and Panchupadana Kanda. Evang rupo ahosing. Now see, some of these words are actually Evang rupo ahosing atita maddananti itiva bhikkave anusaramano rupang yeva anusarati. Now, evang rupo ahosing. I had a form like this. Atita madhana, in the past. Atita is past. Atita madhana, in the past, I had a form. Itiva hi bhikkave anusaramano. One who remembers this. Rupang yeva anusarati. He remembers only the form. Yeah. Evang, Evang vedano ahosing atita maddananti. Now rupa, from rupa, and it goes vedano. Yeah. Vedano ahosing. Now vedana, vedano ahosing atita maddananti. That means actually plural. Yeah. Now I had this type of feelings. Itiva bhikkave anusaramano vedanang yeva anusaranti. Yeah. So he remembers feeling. Evan sanya ahosing. Sanya. What is sanya?
Perception.
Perceptions. Yeah. Ahosing atita maddananti. In the past, I had this sanya. Evan sankhara. Now those are the 5 aggregates. Ahosing atita maddana. Evan vijayana. Now those are the 5 ahosing atita maddananti itiva bhikkave anusarmano vijyanameva anusarati. Now if anybody were to remember anything in the past, it would be in the area of either rupa or vedana or sanya or sankhara or vijnana. Nothing else. Yeah. You might say, oh, I had this, such and such, this event, that event, this, you might actually describe it in episodes, but whatever it is, everything boils down to one thing: Panchupadana Kande, 5 clinging aggregates. Yeah. Are you with? Yeah.
Excuse
Yeah.
me. So then, rupang yeva is also 2 words. Rupang yeva in the first line of the sentence.
Yeah. Evam rupo ahosi. Is this?
No,
is this
I
what
mean,
you're?
at the end of the line. Rupang yeva.
Rupang eva. Okay. Evam
Also 2
vijnana
words.
hosi. Bhikkave anusarma. Sorry. Evam, no, sorry. Rupang, rupang, yeah, rupang eva is become rupameva.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you.
yeah. It is the form itself. It is, whatever they remember these 5 aggregates. That's what he says. Okay, and then you come to the really interesting part. Kincha bhikkave rupang vadeta. What is monks? What do you call this rupa? What is this rupa? Kincha bhikkave rupang vadeta. And then the Buddha gives actually a definition of it. Rupati, rupati. T, when you have like 2 T, T, that means rupati iti. It's a repetitive, yeah. Rupati iti ko bhikkave tasma rupanti vuchyate. It is the rupan. Now this rupati is the indicative, like a present tense. Yeah, rupati itiko bhikkave tasma rupanti vuchyate. We call rupa because it is of the nature of rupa. Now that's another word for us to learn. Rupa. What is rupa? Do you have any idea of what rupa means?
It's not form. It's the formed.
Yeah, I mean, say that again.
If it's not a form, then it's like deformed. Like.
Yeah. I mean, it's a process. Like rupati.
Like it can change form.
Yeah. Now see.
Aliens
See what?
shape like different. So it could be a good example. Like they can shape and reshape and.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you got the idea. So rupa is the end product. You get the end product out of, your mind creates this delusion or illusion of rupa because you don't understand the process of rupa. Rupa is a process. Rupa nature. Now, I mean, the English translations give you like affliction. Yeah. Rupa is like afflict, it is afflicted, but actually all of these are translations. But then the question is, rupa. The Buddha says rupa gives us the rupa. But the problem is we understand it the other way around. Rupa is of the nature of rupa. This is where we have misunderstood. Yeah. So what we are looking at the rupana quality in the rupa. Whereas the Buddha says something else. Do you follow me? Yeah. And this is where, I mean, this is a worldly way of looking at it. This is how the world is looking at it, because the world has already got the end product of rupa. And that rupa is of the nature of rupana. But that's not what the Buddha says. The Buddha says, Rupati iti ko bhikkhave tasma rupanti vujjati. Rupa arises as a result of rupana. Okay. Now, last time, remember, we talked about, we just discussed this with an example. In a movie, when you see action, the action arises as a result of number of hundreds of flashbacks. If there are no actually this process of running, pictures, you don't have an action, you don't have a rupa. Do you follow me? Yeah, it's a difficult one, but usually the world is always understanding this way. But the Buddha's way is, he says, if you were to understand rupa, you have to understand rupana process, what rupana is. Yeah. Otherwise, you don't understand rupa, because you are actually constructing rupa, and then later you will see how that construction takes place. Okay. Okay. So okay. Somebody's asking a question. I'm just reading your chat. Okay. So anyway, do you follow now? This is so important. To understand. If you don't understand this, you don't follow the logic of the Buddha. The Buddha says, "Kincha bhikkhave rupang vadet." What do you call this rupa? Rupa is nothing but what is produced. Rupana. Now remember the Pena Pindupama in the earlier sutta, Pena Pindupama, this process of forming the form leads to form. Yeah, F-O-R-M. So in the same way, it is the process of rupana which leads to rupa. Kena rupati. And now he gives a description of rupana. This process. Sitena pi rupati. Sita. What is sita? Any idea? Sita.
Winter time.
Cold, yeah, cold,
Cold.
yeah. Cold. Sita. Sitena api. Sitena api. Sita is the word. Sitena, by the cold. Api rupati. So the cold, it is by the cold, the rupana takes place. Unhena pirupati, that's the opposite of sita. What is the opposite of sita?
Heat, hot.
Heat, yeah. Unha, unhena pirupati. Rupana process takes place. Jigacha. Jigacha is a difficult word. Jigacha is hunger. Hungry. By the hunger, jigachaya, this is the instrumental case. Jigachaya api rupati. Pipasa. Any guesses? What is pipasa? Thirst. Yeah, thirst. So hunger, thirst, cold, heat. Now this is what produces rupa. And then this probably may be the longest Pali word you may meet. Look this, I mean, this is a dansa, makasa, vata, atapa, siring, sapa, sampasanang, sampasena api rupati. If I ask you to read, you would have been in trouble. So, yeah. Dancer. Now this is actually referring to the environment. Dancer is kind of little insects. Yeah, makasa is mosquitoes. Yeah, mosquitoes. Yeah, yeah. Do you like mosquitoes, Bhanthe?
Here, no.
I'm sure you don't. You don't have in. So dansa, makasa, vata. Yeah. It is wind. Vata, atapa is sun. You means sun. S-O-N. Okay. Vata, atapa, siring sapa. Siring sapa is like snakes. Siring sapa. Sampasa is contact. Sampasa is apirupati. Now these are actually places where the rupana process, it gives rise to the rupana. Okay. So rupati tiko bhikkave tasma rupanti vucchati. Now he reminds the rupana process. Okay. Are you all with me? Now, usually our way of looking at is, you have a rupa, you have a body, and that body is affected by cold, heat, sun, wind, mosquitoes, blah, blah, blah. And then that is, that experience. But the Buddha's approach is the exact opposite. Because it's a Vijayana. Now look at it from the Vijayana point of view. It is the Vijayana, which really recognizes this. So it is when you have these different situations, it just produces the rupa. So now does that actually change your view of rupa?
So it is as if the way Vijnana reacts to things would solidifies rupa into being solid? Or?
Yeah, exactly. Now rupa is a misconstrual of this experience. Yeah, exactly. That's a good way to put it, like solidify. Now you are not looking at a solid thing called rupa, but what really brings about rupa is this experience, rupana. Rupana is a process which gives the rupa, rather than the other way around, because usually the worldling meets rupa first because he doesn't understand the rupana. Rupana is like the root. People don't see the root, they see the tree. Do you understand? Yeah. So now this explanation is quite probing, because it really gives you the insight as to how much we don't know about this process. And then we are actually dealing with good, bad, right, wrong, this, that, but not knowing the process. Yeah. Okay, so let's do a little bit more. Kincha bhikkave vedanang vadit. And he asked the same question about, just like the question he asked about the rupa. He says, Kincha bhikkave vedana. What is the vedana? Vede titiko bhikkave tasma vedanati bucchati. That's again this process of feeling. Now, again, we have to actually tap into what is that process to understand feeling, because we always get a ready-made feeling. We don't know the process of, now that is under the ground. Now vedayati, iti ko bhikkave tasma vedanadi vucchati. Now that is what is called vedana. Kincha vedayati, sukhampi vedayati. What is sukha? Somebody was talking about sukha. Was it Manoj? Yeah? Sukha. Sukhang vedayati. Yeah? What's sukha?
Happy?
The opposite of dukkha.
Exactly, the opposite of dukkha, exactly. So, sukhang vedayati, dukkhampi vedayati. One feels dukkha, one feels sukha. Adukha masukang. Now when you have and then you have the opposite, don't you? Yeah. Adukha asukha becomes adukha masuka. Yeah. Adukha asukha. Adukha asukha. So what is adukha asukha? Any guesses?
Neutral.
Neutral. Yeah. Actually, not dukkha, not sukha. Literally, it means dukkha, sukha. Means neutral. Yeah. Neither dukkha nor sukha. Vedayati. So vedayati tiko bhikkave tasma vedanati bucchati. So vedana is called because it is this vedayati. Feel. Now for us, there is a feeling, and the process of feeling comes as a result of what experience, right? But he has actually the exact opposite. Kincha bhikkave sanyang vadet. Sanyam, perception. What's the perception? Sanjanati tiko bhikkave tasma sanyati bucchati. It is sanjanana, this cognizing or recognizing. That is what's called sanya. Yeah, kincha sanjanat. Now there, what cognizing what? Nilampi sanjana. Now these are actually colors. What's nila?
Blue?
Blue, yeah. Nilampi sanjanati. Pitampi sanjanati. What's pita?
Yellow?
Yellow, yeah. and lohitampi, red, odatampi, white, yeah, sanjanati. Sanjanati tiko bhikkhave tasma sanyati vuchyati. Now, it is this cognizing process which is called sanya. Okay. Now, I'm actually going to ask you a question. Okay. Now let's actually think of rupa plus sanya. What is rupa sanya?
Perception of form.
Yeah, perception of form. Yeah. Okay. Perception of form. Now, now see how the two processes come together here. Two processes. Yeah. Kincha bhikkhave sanyam vadeta. Sanjanati tiko bhikkhave tasma sanyati ujjati. Kincha sanjanati. Then all these colors. Yeah. Okay. So let's get to the next one and see what. Yeah. And then the kincha bhikkhave sankhare vadeta. What do you call sankhara, monks? Sankharam. Sankhara, abhisankharam. Sankharam, abhisankaroti tiko bhikkhave tasma sankharoti vujjati. I mean, sankhara. What's sankhara?
Volitional formation.
Volitions.
Yeah, volitional form. I mean, we translate as volitional formation, fabrication, construction. So fabrication, the process of fabricating. Yeah. So sankhara, abhisankaroti tiko sankhara. Now, the sankhara has a process of further fabricating. Fabricating the fabricate is called sankhara. Yeah. Abhisankaronti. Kincha sankhara abhisankaroti karonti rupang rupataya sankhatang abhisankaronti. Now that's a bit of a difficult one. Okay. Rupang rupataya. Form is reconstructed for the formness. The form, I mean, now form, that is also a sankhara. Form is sankhara, but form is reconstructed for the formness is called sankhara. Yeah, so it's called abhisankaronti. It's like reconstruct. Construct is reconstruction. Vedanam vedanatthaya sankharanti. So Vedana is constructed. Now you can see there's a double game here. And that's why we don't see the first game, because it is under the ground. And all what you see is what is happening over the ground, only if you see it. Yeah. Sanyang sanyattaya sankhatang abhisankaronti sankhari. Yeah, Vijayana Vijayanathaya sankhatang abhisankaronti sankhara. Yeah, sankara and sankharata. So sankhara has the function of reconstruction any number of times. Yeah. Yeah. So okay, now can I get Lola to read this last section?
Sure.
She's a Sanskrit expert.
No, I'm not.
Yeah.
So
You can read it in
Kincha.
Sanskrit, yeah. We
Oh
will still
no, I
understand.
don't know.
Yeah.
Kincha bhikkhave vinyanam nang vadeta Vijanatiti ko bhikkhave tasma vinyananti uchati. Kinsha vijanati ambilampi vijanati pita kampi vijanati katu kampi vijanati madhu rampi vijanati kari kampi vijanati akari kampi vijanati Aloni kampi vijanati, aloni kampi vijanati, vijanati tiko bhikkhave, tasma vinyana nanti vuchati.
Oh, very good, very good. So you you know your Sanskrit well. Yeah, it's yeah. I mean, just to produce meaning here now. Kincha bhikkhave vinyanam vadeta. You know, what do you call vinyana? And then the Buddha gives a definition. Vijanati iti ko bhikkhave tasma vinyananti vuchati. So vinyana is this nature of recognizing. Yeah. Kincha vijanati. Recognize what? Ambilampi vijanati. What do you think it is? Ambilam? Titsakampi. Now this is actually about taste. Taste. This is like sour, bitter, titsaka. Ambilampi is like, you know, when you actually taste lemon, that's called ambilampi vijanati. Titsakampi vijanati. That is bitter. Yeah. Katukampi vijanati. You know, like a bit rough. Madhurampi vijanati, sweet. Yeah, madhura. Karikampi vijanati, like, you know, alkaline. Karika, like, yeah, alkaline. Akarika, that's the opposite. It's like, it is what people call acidity, non-alkaline acidity. So lonikampi, salt. Yeah, alonikampi, non-salt. Now these are kind of examples of vijanana, like how you recognize. Yeah. Now it's also important to understand now that particular faculty, it has to be like you will have to put the food in your tongue for you to be able to, but if you just put it on your body, you will not feel it. Yeah. So that vijanana, cognizing nature is the vijnana. So what this does is, now what do you think is the significance of this? Why is the Buddha actually coming from this sort of an approach? Why is he defined, like, now taking this example, like vijnana, why it is the quality of recognizing that, it creates the vijnana, rather than the other way around. Any
Sorry. In order to
Any
emphasize the way how personally we pursue the things, Buddha wanted to emphasize in clarifying the vijnana.
Yeah.
It is a personal matter, the way how we experience the world in terms of individual perception or something?
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, basically, what to show, to show how the world is confused or deluded, confused or deluded about this process. We think there is there's a central box of Vijnana, and the nature of the Vijnana is to cognize. It's like a sensor, like you have a sensor in your car, and if the sensor is there, it can detect certain things. But what the Buddha says is no, it's actually the censoring process is what produced the sensor, not the other way around. Do you get it?
Buddha should say it to psychologists.
Sorry?
Buddha should say it to psychology, like because they don't understand consciousness.
Oh, psychologists, they are completely confused.
Yeah.
I hope. Yeah, they just fabricate the world anyway. So I mean, because for people now, remember, there was a monk who said, "Oh, Vijnana just goes from one life to another, and so on." It is because and this is even the Vedic scholars. They thought Vijnana is a big thing, and now what this says is basically Vijnana. There is nothing called Vijnana. It is the cognizing process that produces Vijnana. Yeah. Okay. Now, tatra bhikkhave. Tatra means there. Bhikkhave, monks. Sutava Arya Savaku. What is Sutava Arya Savaku? Who is Sutta?
Disciples?
Yeah. Sutava. Sutta. What is Sutta? Her. Here.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah. Sutava. Sutava is the one who has heard this. One who really knows this. Now, every time when you refer to the Arya Savaka, it says Sutava Arya Savaka. The opposite of Sutava Arya Savaka is what?
Somebody didn't hear the Dhamma.
Asutava Putujjana. Yeah? Asutava Putujjana. Yeah. Now, Asutava Putujjana and the Sutava Arya Savaka. So, one who means a Sutava, one who has not heard. So the Arya Savaka, only the noble disciple has this understanding. Tatra bhikkhave sutava Arya Savaku iti pati sanchikkati. Reflect thus. Pati sanchikkati. Pati sanchikkati means reflect, contemplate, meditate. Yeah, pati sanchikkati. Ahanko etere rupena khajjami. That's an interesting one, yeah? Ahanko eterahi rupena khajjami. Ahang. Ahang is what? I, me. Eterahi, here. I am here. Rupena khajjami. Eaten or munch or what is the word? Chewed. I am actually being eaten by the rupa rather than, the other way around. Yeah. Like, so usually Asutava Putujjana has the other opposite. We have a form to enjoy. But in actual fact, what you have is the other way around. The form actually eats you. You are chewed by the form. Atitam paham, atitam in the past too, atitam adhanam in the past, eva meva rupena kajjim. I was chewed like this. I was eaten by the forms like this because I was not aware of the process. Sayatapi etarahi pachupan. Here too, pachupan is the kind of present time. That's how you translate, but pachupan, like condition, born of condition. Rupena kajjami. Now, here too, I am being chewed by or, eaten by the rupa. Ahanchako pana anagatam rupang abhinandeya. If I were to entertain the form in the same way, anagata madhanam pi in future as well, evameva rupena kajjeya. Now you have the present, past, and future here. I was subjected to this in the past. I am now, going through this now, and even in future, this is what will happen. Sayatapi etarahi pachupannena rupena kajjami ti. So iti patisankhaya atitasming rupasming anapekkago hoti. No, he's not he's not attached to or driven by the past rupa. Anagatang rupang nabinandati. He is not searching for, looking for the rupas in future. Pachupannasa rupas nibbidaya. That's a new word. Nibbidaya. Yeah. Now, disenchantment, and viragaya, nirodhaya, yeah, patipanno hoti. Now, the noble disciple is no longer caught up by the form in this way, and he's disenchanted. So dispassionate, not as passionate, dispassionate, or nirodhaya. Now, he's actually gone beyond the rupa, patipanno hoti. Yeah. Okay. Shall we pause here for a minute? Yeah, I mean, it's the same thing with Vedana, Vedana, etc. And then the Buddha comes to Tanking Manyata Bhikkhave Rupang Nichang Va Anichang Vati. What do you think, monks? What is Nichang? Anichang.
Is form permanent or impermanent?
Yeah. So Thanisaro Bhikkhu, he doesn't want to translate as permanent and impermanent because he doesn't like those two words. He says constant and inconstant. There are, I mean, different people, but I think Nicha, Anicca. If you understand Anicca, who was talking about Anicca? Lola, yeah. Yeah. If you understand anicca, you understand, a lot of Buddhism and, a lot of this. And this is why he's slowly coming to this process, nicca and anicca. Yeah. We'll have a little chat about nicca, anicca after a short break. Any questions so far? No? Everything looks very clear to you. Hello, Lucian, how are you?
Hello, hello. I'm fine. I'm fine.
Yeah.
Thanks for asking.
Yeah.
Maybe you could tell me the name of this sutta where.
Oh,
so I could
okay.
look it up.
Yeah. I think
I suppose you said it in the beginning, but.
Yeah. It is. It's called Kajjaniya. Kajjaniya. Yeah. K-H-A-J-J. Kajj. It's an interesting sutta because
chewed up. I'm reading.
Sorry, Kajjaniya.
Chewed up.
Chewed up.
Yeah,
chewed up. Chewed up. Yeah. I mean, so it's actually how we are consumed by. Now see, we have a common understanding, like, oh, there is a form, rupa. Our job is not to get attached to that. Form is there and I'm here and that's it. As long as I'm not attached to the form, I should be okay. Now, what the Buddha does here is he actually put that into question. It is until and unless you penetrate into the form, rupa, all these 5 khandhas, you are not free from them. Yeah. I mean, this is where the ascetics, the previous ascetics got it wrong because they thought, either you remove yourself from the form or you remove form from you. And that way you are free from it. Yeah. I mean, this is why, I mean, even in the Buddhist, so, some Buddhists, this is how they understand. As long as you are not attached to, this form, you should be okay. So, I mean, here the Buddha gives us a clue as to what that attachment really entails. What is it? How does it come about? What is the intrinsic connection? Now, so long as we don't understand, I mean, if you don't understand that, then we are still in the ditthi, a wrong, erroneous view of the form. Like, you can remove the form with an erroneous view, then you are not free from it. For you to actually, only way to be free from the form is to realize it, understand it properly. Now, that process of realization, that's what he's talking about here. Yeah?
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah. Okay. Excellent, folks. Shall we take a short break? Okay. We'll meet up in 10 minutes. Okay. Okay, folks, welcome back. We were going to actually discuss this Vipassana a little bit. How many of you have done a Vipassana course? Oh, Lola has done one. Excellent. Have you done any Vipassana meditation? Anyone else? No. You've done a lot of meditation, but probably not Vipassana. Yeah. So what is Vipassana?
There is shamatha. I don't know because you differently say it, and Vipassana. Yeah. And in Vipassana, you're like noting And there are also like, I think Mahasi, and there's like a whole, how to say it, like guidelines, like how it looks like in the stages. So
Yeah.
like noting like breath in and breath out and everything that comes to you, and also like when your body in and out, I think.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
you like enter jhanas, I think. At the end.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, mainly, I mean, Buddhist meditation, let's call it actually bhavana. Bhavana. And this comes from the root. What is the root?
Bhava.
Oh. So root word is bhu. Bhu, actually, and that's really important to understand. Bhu. Bhu is to, grow, cultivate. Range of meaning. Bhu. It's not necessarily what we think as meditation. Like I think it's sort of a Western kind of very limited view of bhavana. Like meditation is only you sit down and do it. Yeah.
They say it's like a relaxation technique.
Sorry?
In the West, many people call meditation that's a technique of relaxation.
Exactly. Yeah. You just say, oh, there's one time.
I'm feeling so zen. They're saying.
Yeah. I mean, it is like, you are meditating and you're not meditating other times. Like, that's sort of an idea. But it is actually, bhu it's a way of life. It is to be, actually, it is to be. But the problem is, in the Western world, it is something to do. Yeah. Do you realize that meditation is something
I may
to
say
do?
something.
So
May
yeah,
I say
please.
something?
Yeah,
I find it very, very funny and very actually cool that you write this down, this be and do, because when I explain to people mindfulness in the first lesson, I often say, yeah, we're trying to find this switch from doing to being. So
exactly. Yeah. And that's people, oh, I'm going to do my first meditation retreat, and you just, really, wow. So it's a doing thing. And this actually really take away the whole meaning of meditation. Of course, there are actually, two aspects to bhavana. And, one aspect is samatha. It is, I mean, this is what is, and the other one is vipassana. Yeah. The samatha has like, many different techniques. That is again learning to be, at least 40. Yeah. 40 different samathas are discussed in the Visuddhimagga. So
that's the one I practice.
Sorry?
That's the one I like to, practice. It's not practicing, but it's just the samatha as like a concentration on some chosen like element. So like breath or awareness.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's, I want to hear what you think about. that
Yeah,
time.
yeah. I mean, I don't know. I mean, these were there before the Buddha. You know that. Samatha. These were. I mean, samadhi. These were there. I mean, this is like very pre-Buddhist. Yeah. But the I mean, Buddhism has nothing against that, because I mean, of course, if you want water from the well, you can't get a good bucket of water when the water is muddy. Yeah, you need to actually let it calm. So it's kind of calming. Samatha, samadhi is kind of calming, tranquilizing. Yeah. Tranquiling the mind, that sort of stuff, all that is good. But and people actually think that vipassana is actually something else. No, the vipassana has the samatha element already built into it. Yeah. So what comes under vipassana?
Insight?
Yeah, it is called insight, but insights into three main things, isn't it?
Anatta,
Yeah.
anicca.
Yeah, it's like it is actually the insights into anicca, dukkha, anatta, right? Now this is actually the Buddha's contribution to meditation. But these were also discussed in the samatha some time back, in some kind of some form, but there is a clear departure, and that is what we usually don't understand, because we tend to actually go back to the same pre-Buddhistic practices. Anicca, okay, impermanent. So what's a big deal about impermanence? There are things. Rupa, the nature of the rupa is impermanent, inconstant. And because it is, but the problem is the Buddha says yada niccang. Now remember, in that sutta it says yang aniccang tang dukkham, right? That which is impermanent necessarily leads to suffering. Okay? Yan dukkhang tang anatta. So these are actually not disconnect. So these are intrinsically, I mean, these are like, three, I mean, this is like a triad or three facets of the same thing. Now, you see, in the worldly sense, there is some anicca not necessarily leading to dukkha. Yeah. If an illness is impermanent, that leads to sukha, not dukkha. Isn't it? Yeah. So why do we say everything that is anicca is dukkha? Everything is of the nature of dukkha is anatta. Anatta is, I mean, these are like three characteristics of existence, right? So Now for these three to be this is to be understood properly, one has to really probe deeper and try to get to the root of it. Anicca.
Can I ask a question?
Yes, please. Yeah.
I'm writing a paper on shamatha, but I'm looking for shamatha techniques in the suttas, not in the Visuddhimagga. Do you know of any?
Oh yeah. There are many. Many sutras on the samatha. There's one called Atthaka Chula Sunyat. I'll send you those sutras. Atthaka Chula Sunyat.
Is
Yeah, I can think.
Samatha separate from jhana then? In those, or is it combined?
Is samatha actually? Jhana is fruit of samatha, isn't it? When you can actually practice samatha at different levels, but you can actually develop the samatha into a jhanic level. Yeah. So, but the problem is, then there are actually 4 jhanas which are mundane. The other jhanas which are supramundane. Yeah. So when the jhanas are actually Vijayana's accompanied with vipassana, it becomes lokuttara jhana. It comes in the, these are not ordinary jhanas. These are lokuttara jhana. Yeah. So the Buddha talks about, actually, he's talking about the jhanas not in the samatha realm, but in the vipassana realm. Yeah. So people like, even this is there's one sutta, what is it called? It's called Mahasalayat Nika in the middle length. I'll get those sutras to you, where the distinction is made, like the ordinary worldly jhana and the vipassana jhana. Yeah. And a lot of people really don't, if you don't refer to the sutras clearly, you actually just talk about the jhanas in this realm. Yeah.
Sunil,
So,
would you give us all a copy of those references?
oh, no, I won't give it to you. No problem. Yeah, don't worry. I'll send it. Some sutras. This is a really interesting discussion, by the way, because a lot of people talk about jhana, but one thing they really don't understand is Buddha actually gave a kind of vipassana jhana, insight. Jhana based on insight. And the great example is the Atthaka Nagara Sutta. I'll send you those where the Buddha says how the samatha experience can be subject to vipassana. Yeah. So yeah, let's talk about that. But I think if one understands these 3 characteristics of existence in its proper context, in the Buddhist context, the Buddha asked the question, "Chakkum bhikkhave niccang va aniccang?" Monks, is the eye permanent or impermanent? And he says, impermanent. They say impermanent. But when we say it is impermanent, we have a different idea than what these monks are expressing. Now both Putujana and Arya Savaka, can give the same answer. Yeah, is the I impermanent? He says yes. He says yes, but they mean actually two different things. Do you understand? Yeah. So the Putujana is talking about an I, existing I, and its nature. The nature of the I is to disease, get disease and decay and death. Now that's what he's talking about. He's thinking about, he's thinking about this I, but the Arya Savaka is not thinking about that. He is actually thinking about something else. Yeah. Do you follow me?
As in you mean the I is that which is created?
Yeah, exactly. The I, which is already, existing I, there is an I. Here, the nature of I is to decay and die. But the Arya Savaka is thinking about something else. Why am I drawing this now? What is it? What is he thinking about?
He's thinking about Atman, so like a permanent transcendental self.
He's thinking about the opposite of Atman.
Oh yes, but I mean that there is no such thing. So I meant that's
exactly. Exactly. Yeah. I know exactly what you. Yeah. So this is he's talking about actually sunyata. Yeah. Sunyata. Sunyata. Now, this is why I say zero. This is this is one. No, what he does is he get one. Now this is the difference between 1 and -1. There is 1, there is -1. And actually the 0 is a different proposition altogether. Yeah. So now the same thing applies when you are actually talking about in the Arya Savakas, anicca, dukkha, anatta, in all three actually has the base of shunyata. Yeah. If you don't have an understanding of shunyata, and then you are actually in this worldly realm. Yeah, you have no penetration into this.
Just one thing, because I was also one time meditating on it, and I found like that in Western logic and philosophy and overall, we think that the non-existence is 0 and existence is 1. And I realized that this is completely wrong, because non-existence is -1, because there is something and there it isn't. So the whole system is a bit yeah.
And that's really, that is, and then also the problem is even this one. I mean, when the Putujana talks about this one, he's talking about, when he says, oh, 0, you mean A0, yeah, A0. So for a Putujana, even 0 is not a 0, it's an A0, it's a 1 0. It's a 0 1. Yeah, do you understand? Yeah. So because the world always interprets or sees the existence, either existence or non-existence. Now this is the duality. Yeah. So and so therefore the Buddha says, if you really understand anicca, you understand everything. You know, if you understand dukkha, you understand everything. If you understand anatta, you understand everything. There is no way that somebody can understand anicca but not dukkha and anatta. Yeah. So it's kind of a, you know, intuitive. Yeah. So so now that's a, you know, I mean, this is why I wanted to actually do another sutta called Anicca Sanya in the same, yeah, Anicca Sanya Sutta, which is so profound. And the Buddha says, if you understand anicca, you are through. But the problem is we understand anicca, but we are not through. You know? Yeah. So so now that's the two different ways of understanding impermanence, because a lot of people understand the impermanence of a permanent thing. You know, you take the one and you break the one, you know, breaking the one is impermanence for them. That, you know, making it minus. So you are in the realm of the world, Lokiya. Yeah. Okay. Is it helpful?
It is to me, thank you, Sunil. We're back to Mu, aren't we?
You are exactly. You can't be exactly. Mu. Yeah, exactly. I mean, that's but you can actually see how easily we refer back to the world, where we want to actually transcend the world, we just get stuck in the world. Yeah. So now that's the question. Now when let me get that part of the sutta again. Sorry. Sorry, I think okay. Yeah. Now in this sutta they say, Tanking manyata bhikkhave rupang niccang va aniccang vati. And then they say aniccang bhante. Now at this point, these monks had that previous section. They have already cleared that completely. They now know what the rupa is, what vedana, sanya, sankhara, vijnana, all five aggregates they know pretty well. And then if you know them well, and now you understand anicca. Yeah. Now then he says yam pana aniccang, that which is impermanent, dukkhang va sukhang vati. Now here, if that that which is anicca is definitely leading to dukkha. Yang pana aniccang dukkhang viparinama dhammang. Now there's another word here, viparinama dhammang. that is again, translated in different ways by different authors. Viparinama is changing nature, transitory nature. Kallannutang samanupassitu. Now that's a really interesting expression. Kallan, is it proper? Is it appropriate? Kallannutan samanupassitum etang mama eso hamasmi eso meatta etang mama. This is me. This is this is I. This is myself. No hetam bhante. No. And then Vedana, etc., etc. Yeah. Now this part again is a really interesting section. Tasmatiha bhikkave. Now you will find this in the Pali canon quite a lot. Tasmatiha bhikkave. Therefore, tasmatiha means therefore, monks. Yankinchi rupa. Whichever form. Atita anagata pachuppanna. Now these are the 11 types. Atita, anagata, pachuppanna. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, atita is what? What is atita?
Past, probably.
Yeah, past, exactly. Anagata is not, not come. That means na agata, anagata. Future. Pachuppanna, present, but it is not actually present because we know better now. Atita anagata pachuppanna. Ajata, internal. Bahiddha, external. Yeah. Olarika, gross. Sukuma, subtle. Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Hinang. Hinang is low. Panitang is high. 8, 9. Dure, distant. Santike, 11. Now these 11 aspects. Sabbang rupang, all forms in the area of Atita, Anagata, Pachuppanna, Ajjata, Bahidda, Olarika, Sukuma, Hina, Panita, Dura, Santika. Yeah, all Sabban Rupang, all forms, Netang Mama, Netang Mama, Neso Hamasmi. Now you can't identify yourself with this because you have already seen these 11. These are the facets of the world. Yeah. So the whole world is caught up in these 11. Now either internal, external, close, far, low, or gross, subtle, lower, and higher. All of these aspects are the aspects of the world. Netang mama neso hamasi. Na etang mama, that's not me. Ne neso hamasmi. Na ahang asmi. Ne meso atta, it's not my atma. Eva metang yathabhutang sammapanyaya datthabba. Now yathabhuta is how it comes into being. Sammapanyaya, with the right view, right wisdom, datthabbang, must be understood or must be seen. Yakochi Vedana. Now it's the same thing about not just the rupa, Vedana, Sanya, Sankhara, Vijayana. All 5 aggregates should be seen in this way beyond this time, space, and all these aspects, right? Yandure Santigeva Sabbai. Yeah, okay. And then the Buddha comes to this. He says, "Young, Ayang
Can I ask something?
Yes, please. Yeah.
So I more or less understand what's being said there, but in the end, the conclusion is, so all these 11 facets of the world are not my Atma, of Atta, are not my soul or self or something like that. So yeah, that's fine with me, but why should that matter to me whether those 11 things are or are not my Atma, what Atta?
Yeah, good question. Good question. I mean, now those 11 things the Buddha gives just to give the idea of the world, because the world is hung up or stuck in this 11, like, either internal or external, near or far, gross or subtle, past, present, or future. Now these aspects, these 11 aspects are the aspects of the world. So here, here the Buddha, what the Buddha says is, rupang netang mama. The nature of the rupa it can be found in these 11 realms of existence. Yeah, but here he talks about, now so the rupa could be even the past rupa, future rupa, the rupa here, the rupa near, rupa far, rupa subtle, rupa gross, rupa, all of these are rupa in those 11 realms. But ultimately he says, rupang netang mama. You have actually subscribed to this without understanding these facets. Now these facets hide the reality.
Okay, sure, but I get what you're saying, but what's written doesn't say that to me. What's written just says to me, well, all these 11 facets are not my soul. Yeah, okay, I can understand that, but that sounds like something different from what you're saying now.
No. Now you see, now the sentence is tasmatiya bhikkave yankinchi rupang. Now all the 11 facets are adjectives or attributes to the rupa. Okay. Tasmatya bhikkave yankinchi rupang. Now that rupa connects to netang mama, neso hamasmi, ne nameso atta. Okay. So now, he's describing the rupa is found in these 11 realms.
Mm-hmm.
And that rupa, that is that, it is also like the rupati ko bhikkave tasma rupanti vucchati. Earlier he said it is the rupana process that gives you the rupa. And the same way the rupa is, is of the nature of these 11.
Yeah, sure.
Right? Yeah. So they are netang mama neso hamas minameso. So now these the reason why these are repeated is because these actually hide the reality. These actually show the Vijayana is hung up on these 11 facets, right? I may not have rupa now, but I had the rupa before. I may not have, rupa now, but what about my future rupa? So there are all these different perspectives, right? So
yeah, but how do you tie them then to the self, to the atta? I don't understand this.
Yeah,
conclusion.
No. Atta. It is how the world is tying it to the atta. Now, what the Buddha does is the Buddha shows how this process happens. The process happens because, now remember at the very beginning, the reason why you're asking is you were not here at the beginning. In the beginning of the sutta.
Yeah, I just read the beginning.
Okay, yeah. In the beginning of the sutta, I said, whosoever, they thought of various different things, but they thought of only 5 different things. Yeah, and those 5 different things have these epithets, these attributes, and these attributes again hide the true nature of their existence.
Excuse me.
Yeah.
In order to get a more consistent understanding, I think it is much better the way how this sutta explained the sankhara and vijnana. I think through that line, Doctor, you can more clearly teach our friend who's Lucian, because the way how sankhara and vijnana is clarified in terms of this sutta helps us to understand the final version, I think.
Yeah, no, that's a good point, Manoj, because it is the Vijnana which produce these different facets. Now these are the facets of the Vijnana, and because we don't understand the Vijnana, we get deluded, by or persuaded by the Vijnana to accept this. So it's in fact what the Buddha is doing here, he's unpacking, he's unpacking the Vijnana. Yeah. Mikhail,
Yeah, there was the consciousness, wasn't it?
Sorry, consciousness, yeah.
Yeah.
I just
okay, yeah, I get that, yeah.
Okay.
Maybe I just thought that maybe I know. I mean, I thought about how to answer Lucian's question, because it was kind of like, how does the argument follow? And I thought that maybe it's in a way that if you take these 11 adjectives, then whatever you think of a self, you will construct it out of these 11 adjectives. So for example, like that there's an interior self, or let's say that let's say maybe it's exterior and gross. So it's kind of like a body of 4, or like interior and superior, which is maybe some kind of like a mind or a soul. So I think in a way, by showing these adjectives, then if you say that the self cannot be these, then we're out of the possibility to construct a self.
Okay, thanks. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, excellent. Okay, folks. Now just going down. Now then they say ayang uchati bhikkave Arya savako. Now apachinati no achinati. Now you see he diffuses but not collect. Now he knows the reality. The reality is visible to him. He's penetrated to the reality. So he doesn't achinati. Achinati is collect. Yeah. Pajahati no upadhyati. Pajahati. Now he doesn't actually. Now upadhyati is, now he does not misconstrue or get attached to it. Yeah. Visineti na usineti. Yeah. Does not actually exonerate, but rather he just now knows what the reality is. Vidupeti no sandupeti. Yeah. So now these are actually words of attachment. Now, how out of ignorance, how out of delusion, we collect, recollect, and form, reform, and engage. Yeah. Then he, and then he uses these few words like apachinati, achinati. Pajahati upadiyati, visineti usineti, vidupayati sandupayati, kincha achina, apachinati, no achinati, rupam apachinati. The rupa, the form is, he doesn't really collect the forms, collect in the sense, now he's not attached to it, actually. He's not. He has now penetrated into the form, it's in true sense. So, rupam apachinati, no achinati. Vedanam, same thing, yeah? So, this is, it gives a description of the Arya Savako, the Arya Savaka's ability now to diffuse it, disintegrate it, yeah. And then he says, Evam passam bhikkave sutava Arya Savako, Evam passam, the one who sees thus, sutava Arya Savako, rupasmimpi nibbindati. In the rupa, this is locative case, rupasmin pi nibbindati. He gets disenchanted. I mean, again, the word nibbida is a very heavy word. A lot of people misunderstand it. Say, oh, I don't like now rupa. That's not. One should not really interpret it this way. It's not you just disgust, there is no disgust, but disenchant. I mean, that means, when you know there is no core, no real value, you're not actually again, fighting against it. Yeah. So the word nibbida, nibbindati is a very important one. Again, that's why some people, understand, oh, you get disgusted, dejected, or whatever. But that's a wrong idea completely. When you have a full realization, you're not either hating it or loving it, because you know its true nature. Yeah. And the same thing, nibbindati. Now, nibbindang virajyati. Again, it is the nibbinda which leads to virajyati. Viraga vimuchyati. Yeah. Vimuttasming vimuttamiti jnanam hoti. When you are actually disconnected, or when you let go, vimuttamiti jnanam hoti. Now he has the insight. Now see how important the insight is. Vimuttamiti jnanam hoti. Now he's not actually doing away with all the forms and going to the forest and living with the mosquitoes. Yeah, he's actually jnanam hoti. Hina jati. Now again, that needs a whole commentary. Hina jati. Jati is now that, usually it is translated as birth, Kina. He's actually done with the jati, but here the jati does not mean birth. Here jati means that disconnect, the disconnect with the wrong idea. Kina jati, musitang brahmacharya. Now this is the brahmacharya. Yeah, katang karaniya. He has done what is to be done. Na parang itataya. Nothing else to do. Yeah. Iti pajanati. He knows through wisdom. Now there is nothing more to do. Yeah. So no assignments to do, no Pali lessons. You just simply go to discotheque and enjoy. Yeah. When you yeah. So now Okay, we're going to actually read the now. Vidupetva Tito Rupang Neva Vidupeti na Sandupeti. Vidupetva Tito Vedana. Now that is again those 4 words that Buddha is using. Apachinati, no, achinati, all those words. Yeah. And then a god, a deity was somewhere around, and he was just talking about, he was saying, oh, I'm just trying to read the mind of a person who has this kind of realization. And then he just chants this stanza. Okay. So maybe Bhante can help us chanting this. Are you there?
Yeah, I am in.
Oh, thank you, Bhante. Yeah. So this is a beautiful stanza. It is. It describes the mind of an Aryan disciple. Yeah.
Namo te purisajanya, namo te purisuttama, yassate nabhijanam yampi nissaya jaya siti.
Wow, that's beautiful. Yeah. So Namo te purisajanya. Now that's a really interesting word. Namo te. Namo. May the salutation or veneration be to you, purisajanya. Which is translated as what? Ajanya Purisa. Is it, what's the English translation? Purisa Ajanya.
Thoroughbred, I read here.
Yeah, thoroughbred. I don't know. So basically, Aryan birth, one who is born in the Aryan clan. Purisajanya. Now see, every Aryan has a second birth, and that's why they are called Dvija. 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 Dvi means what? 2. Ja means birth. So if you have realized the Aryan message, you have a second birth. You are born again. Be careful with the born again Buddhists. Yeah. So Namo te purisajanya, Namo te purisuttama. Superlative being, super being. Namo te. May my homage to be to you. Yasate nabijanam. Yasate nabijanam. Yampi nissaya jayasi. I can't see where your mind really is now, because now that's where I think the Lola's question, jayasi, Aryan meditation, like, a meditator's mind cannot be seen in the world. In the non-Aryan, samatha practices, so, their mind can be seen. So one day, a Brahmin come to me, I can't see where your mind is. He says, what is your perception like? He says, asanya sanyi-ness, Nasanya sanyi, na visanya sanyi, nopi asanyi, na vibhuta sanyi. You know, Evang sameta sa vibhuti rupang sanya nidana hi papancha sankhara. It's a beautiful stanza. It says, na sanya sanyi. So my sanya, my perception is not ordinary perception. Na sanya sanyi, na visanya sanyi. My mind is not also gone completely wrong. Na visanya sanyi, no pi asanyi. It is not in the asanya saptata, where people get into jhanas. No pi asanyi, na vibhuta sanyi. It's not vibhuta sanyi. That's again another jhanic state. Evang sameta sa vibhoti rupa. One whose mind has penetrated into the form. Evan sameta vibhoti rupang sanya nidana hi papancha sankha. Now all these papanchas are the birth of all the papanchas are the sanya, perception. So I have gone beyond the ordinary perception. So that's what he says about perception. Okay. All right. Are you with me so far? Are you taking a nap? No?
We're ready for one.
Okay, sure. So Bhante, Vijita is already past midnight. Are you, aren't you? So what is your time now there?
12:30.
Oh, that's just midnight. Yeah, you can stay till 2 o'clock. Okay. You are a university lecturer. If you are a university student, you can stay till midnight. If you are a lecturer, you can stay till 2 o'clock. Okay. That is called burning midnight oil. Yeah. So especially in the, when you're doing homework. So folks, this is our plan. We were going to actually take a break on the 19th of April. So probably we will take, we deserve a break from this class. So 19th of April, we'll take a break. That's a Tuesday, yeah? So I'll hopefully, because that will also help me. I will be in Colombo, hopefully. So then homework again. No, I think you guys are doing really good work. I'd really like you to focus on these 4 words, 5 words actually: rupati, and sanjanati, vedayatiti. Those 5 words, if you could actually give a little bit explanation or examples, like what's an example of rupati? What's an example of vedayati? Yeah, because there are some examples already given, but let's find some other examples of, because I think the examples given there are limited, but there are other examples we can think of. Yeah, so if you could give a little commentary to the 5 words: rupati, vedayati, sanjanati, abhisankaroti, and vijanati. Those, that would be good. Yeah. So hopefully we will actually write a collective essay, because it'll be a contribution, because a lot of translations I find very mundane, really too limiting our thinking to the world. Okay. Any last questions?
Can I ask a question after class about something?
Yeah, sure. Yeah. Okay. Anything else, folks?
Yeah, so no break next week, and then we have a break the week after.
Exactly. Yeah. Is that okay? Yeah. Because you guys are very good, so I'm going to give you a little rest. Bhanthe,
Yeah.
have you had your lunch?
Not yet. Maybe later, sir.
Okay. All right. So would you be kind enough to give us a little blessing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe
And we should keep Arthamitra in our thoughts. He's got COVID, sadly. So let's keep him in our thoughts. Yeah, a few other friends of mine who are really having tough time as well in the military. Well, in daily meditation, we just sort of keep them in our thoughts. Yeah. Bhanthe, over to you.
Yeah. Aranye rukka muleva sunyagareva bhikkavo anusareta sambuddhang bhayang tumha kanosya noche buddhang sareyat loka jettang nara sabhang at dhammang sareyat niyanikang sudesitang noche dhammang sareyat niyanikang sudesitang at sangang sareyat punyak ketang anutterang evang buddhang sarang tanang dhammang sanghang ca bhikkavo bhayang vacang vitattang va lomahang sona hessati evang buddhang sarang tanang dhammang sanghang ca bhikkavo bhayang vacang vitattang va lomahang sona hessati. Thank you.
Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. That's a beautiful chanting. It's a very powerful one as well. It comes from the Dhajagga Sutta. Dhajagga Sutta is a very interesting sutta where the Buddha says how one could get the protection of the noble triple gem. And he says, Aranye Rukkamuleva, wherever you are, Sunyagareva Bhikkhavu, empty house, jungle, wherever you are, Bhayangva Chambitatangva, if there is fear or Chambitatang, like trembling for you, Anusareta Sambuddha, remember the noble triple gem. Bhayang tumha kanosya, you will not have the fear. So the Buddhan, Dhamman, Sanghang, So thank you, Bhanthe. We'll try to remember them. Yeah. No, thank you very much. Thanks for your lovely chanting and all the support. Yeah. Okay, folks. See you soon. And as I said, if I'm hopefully going to be in Amsterdam tomorrow. If you know, you would like to, I will be there till Sunday. So it'd be lovely to see you. You know, if you are around. If you are not, don't worry. Be happy. Yeah. Okay. Like your cat. he's learning Pali, yeah.
Oh,
Does
sure
he
he is. Sure he is.
does he
He just
chant
came. He
sutra?
just came. Yeah. Yeah. No, he doesn't
Yeah.
use his voice so much. He likes to scratch and make noise.
Yeah. So probably he wants to learn Kajjaniya Sutta.
Oh,
Yeah.
the eating. Yeah.
Yeah.
Good night.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Good night,
Thank you.
folks.
Good
you.
night.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. Take care.
Thanks.
Thank
Bye.
you. Thank you so much.
So my question about the same thing I asked before,
Yeah.
but I just wanted to write down the suttas about the samatha, which were separate from the jhanas, or which were like a preparation for the jhanas. You said.
Well, samatha now. I mean, samatha is a kind of a broader term, and you know, samadhi, samatha is being used, you know, to include all sorts of practices, calming practices. And the height of that calming is the jhanic experience, you know, particularly these 4 jhanas, which are, you know, like the first, second, third, and the 4th jhana. So, but in the description of jhanas, the Buddha gives this vivicceva kamehi vivicca akusalehi dhammehi savitakkam savichara. You know, every jhana has 5 jhana qualities, right? Vitakka vichara piti sukha ekaggata, right? So yeah, I mean, in the ordinary jhanas, I mean, when you actually develop that samadhi, that samatha up to the level of a jhana, the first jhana, you know, you have all 5 qualities, vitakka vichara. And then the second jhana, vitakka vichara, is knocked off, and then piti sukha ekaggata. Yeah, and the third jhana, piti sukha is piti is gone, sukha ekaggata, and the 4th jhana, there is only ekaggata. So there, now those, you know, I mean, that is actually ultimate levels of samadhi. So the samadhi has these different levels, and then they say upachara and arpana. The samadhi, do you recognize those words? Upachara samadhi and arpana samadhi. Now this is actually discussed in the Visuddhimagga mostly, yeah, upachara samadhi and arpana samadhi. So it is like at the threshold of the samadhi and where the samadhi is right applying. Now, when one is able to apply the samadhi, yeah. So
I do recognize this, like access and attained, basically.
exactly, yeah. So so there are these different you know, aspects of samadhi and the jhanas, but I think, are you studying it in the Vedic context, or just Buddhist context.
Yeah, Buddhist context. I'm looking at the samatha in the Tibetan Buddhism, but there they don't practice the jhanas, but they just study them. So they have a very elaborate samatha practice. And I was
Yeah.
wondering if there's something comparable to this in the suttas. Like
Yeah. Well,
something.
good question. Actually, I mean, my understanding of it, but I don't want. I mean, it is not necessarily kind of. You're familiar. This is what I think is. I think that the Nagarjuna and the Sanskrit tradition more grasp of the samatha vipassana together. It's not isolated samatha. When the samatha is actually isolated, and then it develops it into I mean, the jhanas really the Mahasi and this Burmese, the tradition, they thought it makes it easier for somebody to enter into vipassana. Yeah. And that's, they actually developed that as a springboard. But I don't think the Sanskrit tradition, Nalanda tradition has disassociated it that way. What they did was their samatha vipassana yuganad is combined. Yeah. So and that may be one reason why they don't necessarily emphasize on the jhana to the level that other traditions, Theravada traditions do. But that does not mean, then the Sanskrit tradition was fully conscious of these sutras like Attakanagaras, Mahasunyata, where the Buddha talks about the jhanas and how the jhana can be subjected to vipassana. Now Attakanagara is a really good example where a Brahmin, because mostly these were Brahmins, Brahmins were already familiar with the jhanas. And it was just like another karmastan. Are you familiar with the word karmastan? Kamatan. Yeah, kamatana is now there are individuals who actually has developed their own samatha practices. Yeah. And rather than sort of giving them completely new exercise to do, and they're being told, okay, you just actually get hold of your karmastan and practice and vipassana, make it vipassana. Do you understand what I'm talking about? No?
Yeah, I do. I'm just still wondering about like how it is or how do you see it in the suttas, because I've been looking for them.
No, in the suttas, I can see, the suttas very clearly show the difference between the samatha jhana. It's called lokya dhyanas. And the other ones, it's like, lokuttara jhana.
But is this then a method for attaining samatha? Because I said before, I thought you said before that there is also like samatha practice alone, like not before the jhanas, or is there not? There is.
Yeah. Well, I mean, any form of yeah, I mean, now this, I think probably your question will be properly answered by this Attakanagara Sutta, where this Brahmin Attakanagara, he just comes and asks, because he was very well versed in the ordinary samatha, and he was not familiar with this, and then Ananda is teaching him how to actually practice this ordinary samatha in the vipassana realm. Yeah. So and what it really tells you is one really has to understand the two sides, two aspects of jhana. Because I think a lot of people don't talk about it, because I think the Visuddhimagga, what Visuddhimagga has done is just lump it up, completely, and made it like one whole thing. And then you develop samatha, and then but again, your vipassana is also badly affected by that. So I mean, the way I understand is the Sanskrit tradition has not put too much emphasis on the worldly jhanas. Now see the last stanza that we were, nabi jhanas, I don't know what your jhana is. So basically what, the deity says, what sort of jhana are you practicing? Is it, that question is really intriguing, because it says, I don't really know what jhana you are into. And the same question is asked in the Parayana Vagga, in the Sutta Nipata. I'll send you those references. So therefore, if I understand, I mean, and I think there is enough evidence. I mean, I'm not just sort of trying to create another view of it, but when you read these sutras very carefully, I mean, this is like what the Buddha did with other people. I mean, there are people who, the goldsmith, they came to the Buddha and they were, practicing meditation. They couldn't progress. So then the Buddha asked him to visualize gold, the lotus in the golden form, and then see its nature. So giving different practices to different people based on their experience. And I think the jhanas was another practice at the time, which was, pretty much everybody, a lot of spiritual people practicing. And the Buddhist path is, and he just gave a real meaning to it. And that's why this vivicceva kamehi, vivicca akusalehi dhammehi. And that's a good sign of the lokuttara jhana. Vivicceva kamehi. Now see, you usually any jhana, you also have an attachment to jhana, don't you? Yeah. No. I'm saying you can't develop a jhana without attachment, right?
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, because
Mhm.
you have some attachment. So developing up to whatever level. So but vivicheva kamehi vivicha kusalehi dhammehi savitakkan savicharan viveka jampiti sukang patamajjanang upasampadya vihari. The Buddha gives a description of the supramundane jhana. So therefore they cannot be an ordinary type of jhana. Yeah. So what this really clearly shows you is there are, jhanas in the samatha, jhanas in the vipassana realm, people who develop them take different routes. It's actually, it is not the level of concentration that matters. It is the quality of concentration. Yeah. So what is this? What is this assignment, Lola?
Well, it's it's a paper I'm writing.
Yes.
And
Is this in Buddhism or Sanskrit?
in Buddhism, yeah. Yeah, because I am interested in like the discussion surrounding samatha vipassana and like the scholarly discussion more so. And and how they say that it's very different in the suttas from the Visuddhimagga. And then I was interested how this discussion, or if this discussion is present also in Tibetan Buddhism.
And I think, I mean, in some sense, the Visuddhimagga doesn't seem to have grasp this, vipassana jhana. Oh, I mean, you see in the Ratana Sutta, it says, young Buddha said to Parivan Yisuchin Samadhi Manantarikanyama. Now, Anantarika Samadhi. He's talking about Anantarika Samadhi, not Samadhi, which is only, when you do the jhana, you have a Samadhi, but that is not Anantarika, because only when you are in the jhana, you experience all this. But the Buddha is talking about Anantarika Samadhi. Yeah, na antarika, there is no separation. Yeah, so you are not separated. I mean, you're not, you have no moment of, I mean, this is the Aryan Samadhi. Another really good sutta to, I mean, this is probably, PhD work. I don't know. Are you masters or are you?
No, bachelor, but I'm also writing my thesis. So
very good. Excellent.
Yeah.
I heard you are a very bright student.
I'm not sure.
You're not sure,
yeah. Blazer was happy with what I wrote for his courses. So.
Yeah, very good. So are you like Sanskrit? Are you what is your major?
I'm not sure if I have a major.
No,
I'm doing Sanskrit as extra because I'm doing it in Leiden. They don't give it in the food. And I'm not sure about a major. I'm not sure if I have it.
So when you do your bachelor's, how many subjects do you have to choose?
Well, we don't get to choose. We can choose some courses, and then we have a minor. So it's half a year. You can choose like courses. So I didn't really choose like a certain subject. I've just tried to do as much of the subjects I liked, which is always related to Buddhism or language.
Very good. Yeah. So no, I think it is you know, if your thesis is on what subject? What is it? What is the topic?
Well, that I want to do about samatha and vipassana in Tibetan Buddhism.
Yeah. So I will send you some sutras. I mean, the Mahachattarisaka Sutta, Attakanagara Sutta, Mahasalayatanika Sutta. I mean, in the Majjhima Nikaya, there's quite a number of Chula Sunyata, few sutras where the jhana is being discussed. It'll be really interesting to do a nice, study of them.
That's what I wanted to do initially, actually, but Blazer told me like this has been studied already, so he advised me to do something with Tibetan Buddhism for this reason.
Oh, tell him no. I mean, no, this is actually not properly. I mean, as far as I know, nobody has done a really good thorough study of the Arya jhana and the Lokiya jhana and the Lokuttara jhana, because I think that'd be a really good contribution. Yeah. Ask him to change the topic. I will help you. Okay.
But I already wrote a lot, so if I change, then I have to start over. But I would still like to keep going with this subject, so I hope to write something on it maybe next year in my
yeah. I mean, do a master's thesis on it. It's there is actually quite an interesting study to be done. The problem is people don't look at this this from that angle, and this is what really interests me, because I mean, why in the Tibetan tradition jhana, there's no emphasis on jhana? Yeah, why? There is a
I
nobody
read
has
some woman, she had some arguments about this. She had the feeling that compassion, or the Tibetans thought that compassion could not be present in jhanas, and that's why they just study it. But they do feel like compassion can be present in samatha and vipassana. So
no,
I'm not sure. You don't agree?
No. I mean, come on. I mean, what is the compassion? Actually, I think the compassion is also misunderstood here. I mean, what would you say to the Lokavalokana Sutta, where the Buddha says, I am touched by this suffering humanity. I mean, this whole Dhamma is based on, this is again Samatha Vipassana, and the compassion and wisdom separated in unnecessary ways. And I think it's again bringing everything to the world level. Yeah. Which is I think, sadly, I mean, you should read Nagarjuna. Nagarjuna's, and I think there is that is a very worldly interpretation of it. What would you say? It is like, and then you are actually, then the Buddha's approach is mainly, the Mahayanic, it is, that sort of, that's totally, I mean, it is a misinterpretation in my view. But based on, I mean, I think you should, rather than forming your own opinion, I think you should really look at what the sutras say and let the sutras speak rather than we speak, we form argument. And ayang loko santa pejatu passa pareto, Yada Binanditang, you know, and in the Lokavalokana Sutta, you know, the sutras are full of, you know, they're talking about so much compassion, the Theravada sutras, yeah. And to say, oh, it is otherwise, I mean, I think it's the you know, different approach. Yeah. Anyway, who is this lady who is interpreting this way?
It's Leah Zadler. I can write it with, but she doesn't necessarily say that that's the truth, but she's saying that this is what the Tibetans say is the truth. So it's different.
Yeah, but that's a misconstrual, you know.
Yeah.
Sunyata, what is that famous statement? Sunyata Chiti Garbam, Karuna Garbam, you know, Sunyata Karuna Garbam. Well, basically what it says is this realization, the womb of Karuna is the realization of Sunyata.
Yeah, so compassion is there.
Exactly, the compassion. No. So for the compassion, you don't have to compartmentalize sunya, you know, compassion in a separate way. You know, compassion is already embodied in the wisdom inside. It's not a separate thing. Yeah. You know, you just you know, have two different pillars, that wisdom and compassion. That that's, you know, I can cite you many sutras where that sort of an argument doesn't hold. Yeah. So let's write a paper. Yeah. Challenge anybody.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it's really interesting. I want to research it further. But yeah, thank you for your explanation.
No problem. No problem. You take care then. Yeah.
Yeah. Will the next class, you won't be at the food, right? Or will you?
Oh no, I was actually hoping to be there, but I have to come back. So I will I'll be you know, still doing it in Zoom. Yeah.
Yes, okay.
But I'm hoping to be there tomorrow. And if you are around, are you close to the uni?
I will be at the food tomorrow. Yeah.
All right. Yeah.
Yeah.
So are you going to the university a lot?
Yeah, I have class on Monday and Wednesday. So yeah, then I'm there.
Okay. Yeah. So there is this this event coming up on the 9th, or there's one on the 7th and one in 9th. Are you invited? No.
For which? What event? I'm not invited.
No. Yeah. So no. If I mean, I think, I don't know where I'm staying. It's about half an hour from there. So if you are around at the uni, I mean, I might be coming on tomorrow, Wednesday, Thursday. Oh, are you there on Thursday or Friday? No.
I don't have class those days, but yeah, the food is really close, so I could be there.
Okay. Yeah. Fantastic. Yeah. All right. So yeah, just if you're free, we will. I'll be there on Thursday, Friday. So and Sunday as well, because there is an event on Sunday. Yeah.
Okay. What is the event? Or?
Oh no, this is a Buddhist Union. I mean, Dutch Buddhist Union.
I've been to an event of them before. Yeah, at the food.
Okay. Yeah. I think there is an inauguration of B's appointment on the 7th. And then there's on the 9th, there is the Buddhist Union people meeting up with everybody. And
interesting.
I'm surprised the students should have been informed.
Yeah, I wasn't informed about this course either. So until Blazer told me. Yeah, Blazer told me like shortly before.
I know.
But yeah. Because I
It's
don't have a lot of, or I had my minor before, so I had class in Leiden, so I didn't see like the teacher at the time. But I will look at the website. Maybe I will be there as well.
Oh, please come along. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just say you want to see this Pali teacher. Okay.
Yeah, I will.
All right. All right then.
Okay.
Take care. Yeah.
Yeah, you
See you
too.
soon.
Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah. Cheers.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.